I will call this meeting to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. And the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no visitors today, but there are people here. Thank you for coming. Is there any public comment on the agenda as it exists?
Can I ask about what's the emergency salary board meeting?
We're having one. Oh, Conservation District put in a request after our last one for wage increases.
Okay.
He apologized for missing the deadline and said he forgets it every year. So here we go. Any other questions on the agenda? Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting from November the 6th, 2025. They were provided ahead of time for our review.
They were, and I will make the motion. Yes, and I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Correspondence. We have an Act 14 notice from Mid-Cameron Authority for the renewal of the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit, which authorizes discharge of treated wastewater to the Driftwood branch of the Simone Creek. We received notice from DCED regarding the CDBG performance review report for Cameron County. DCED has accepted Cameron County's corrective action plan for fiscal year 2020 and 2021 for the monitoring program performance review. And we received the summary of mosquito surveillance and control activities that occurred in Cameron County in 2025 through DEP. We have a copy of that report if anybody would like to see it. It outlines the number of samples and where in the county they were taken that included mosquitoes positive for West Nile virus, because there were 11. We talked about it a little bit in the summer when they first found samples that were positive, but we have the annual report now. If anybody would like to see it, it'll be in the office.
The highest prevalence was in Warrenboro.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do it. We have education opportunities. It's just, people should know. They did sampling in July, August, and September. Chief Clerk report. She's not here. Do you have anything, Misty?
I have nothing. Nothing.
Nothing to report.
Okay, Commissioners report.
Josh, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Yesterday I was in Johnsburg for our ATA meeting. It's a quarterly meeting that occurs. One thing that was a highlight, I think, coming out of that meeting was the changing of routes. Right now, there's a route that takes people on Fridays for a shopping trip to DuBois. So they're thinking about changing that route to maybe add 2 to 3 routes from Emporium to get to St. Mary's. One for shopping, because that's where our closest shopping is, and 2 would be for the pharmacies, so that they could have stops at the pharmacies and people would be able to get their medications. So they're in works right now for changing those routes. To me, that was the greatest thing that came out of that meeting, to try to fill this gap right now that we're experiencing. Cliff and I, we met with the EDA and just talked about the opportunity for the grant dollars that the EDA has. There's roughly $1 billion set aside for economic development. So continue thinking about that and figure out the best use here locally for those dollars. And that's something that came up in this morning's IDA meeting as well that I attended. And then last week we did have a Brownfields meeting on the progress of the sites. With Brownfield dollars, I think 4th Street School was one of the topics. They did finish the hazardous materials assessment, so we have documentation of what they found there. And then I attended them to on the Overlook property. And we did a site visit, hiking around, showed them just basically the outskirts of the property, opportunities. There was a landscape architect that joined the visit, and so we should be getting some information put together for that property for basically a reuse plan. There is some industrial sites that were on there. There's some environmental cleanup, which has already been accomplished, so that's helpful. And yeah, and then we had our CBADS meeting. Thankfully, the budget was passed, so they can continue operating accordingly. And next week, James and I will be at CCAP, so we'll see what comes of that, and we can update at our next commissioners meeting for that.
Would you like me to go next?
Sure.
Okay. So I attended the Veterans Day program that was here at the courthouse. I'd like to thank the Cameron County Memorial Detail for putting that on, and all veterans for your service to this country. I appreciate you. I also participated in the Brownfield Advisory Committee meeting with Josh. That was on the 12th. Some of the highlights of that were there's an estimated hazmat cleanup cost of the forestry school. That's approximately $470K. But that would be to remove all the asbestos and toxic materials from the building if it was demolished. It would be significantly less if someone were to rehab it, because asbestos tiles could be covered with new flooring. Obviously, any asbestos in the piping would have to come out. But Aiden Bobick was on there from AmeriCorps. He's working with North Central, and he is creating a visibility index. And the goal of that is to establish a tool that visualizes the prevalence of vacancy, abandonment, etc., which could be a very useful tool. A study is being conducted to identify market potential, supply and demand. And advice was given to look at tourism on a regional level and to not compete for the same tourists, but to instead help each other tell their tourism story. Utilizing feedback that they've received, they've identified that trail-connected lodging is an economic opportunity within the community. I also attended a NACO webinar called Checks, Balances, and Firewalls. The main focus was on maintaining election integrity as it pertains to cybersecurity, and some of the key pointers given were to develop and maintain an incident response plan, triage and validate incidents as they occur, and to contain incidents to the best of our ability. I attended a Core Connect meeting, virtual meeting, and my main takeaway from that meeting was that our coalition has received word from the PVDA that up to 20% of our allotment can be spent before spending any matching dollars. So that's a major win for this whole project, because it means that build-out can start to occur in the very near future. So I thought that was very exciting. I attended the CBAD Advisory Committee, I believe that was yesterday morning, and they are exploring some additional banking options right now. Both plans for both counties were approved without any changes. Mental health is now fully staffed. There are approximately 40 incarcerated individuals that are receiving mental health services in our through our CBADs. But re-entry is posing to be a significant challenge for getting those folks employment. So as a member of the workforce board, that's something that I'm going to look into a little bit further. Their tiny homes are full, and the people living in them have been able to sustain themselves, so that was a positive note. And then critical intervention training will be happening from March 5th until April 2nd of 2026. They're also looking for an additional provider of mobile psych. Right now, Dickinson is the sole provider of those services in our communities. Also, sorry, one more thing on that. HUD is also making a lot of changes which will affect clients starting in 2026, especially as it pertains to permanent housing, because their focus is now shifting to transitional housing. So more on that as that develops. the Cameron Elk Suicide Prevention Task Force, which I sit on, will be receiving the Rural Health Community Program of the Year Award, and that'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the Elk County Courthouse Annex, and Lisa Davis, the director of the PA Office of Rural Health, will be presenting that award. And I also attended the collaborative board meeting, which was yesterday as well, and a lot of good discussions came out from that about how to try to curb what's being a gambling addiction is obviously an addiction, and they're finding that a lot of the seniors at the high school are using their senior pass to go to Fuel On and use the gambling machines, which obviously is not an ideal situation. So ADAS is trying to monitor that the best that they can, but obviously you have to be 18 to gamble. So I would assume some of these kids are probably not quite following the law by doing that. But the point of the discussion was that gambling is a very real addiction, and it can start at an early age, even before technically you're legally old enough to start gambling. So they're trying to put together a small task force or a committee, I guess you'd call it, to try to address this issue and come up with some kind of workshop or something to help educate the kids on financial literacy and obviously the perils of gambling as well as other addictions. I'm sure there's more, but I'm going to end my report right there. And as Josh mentioned, we will be at CCAP from Sunday until Tuesday of next week.
Thank you. Today is National Rural Health Day. And so National Rural Health Day showcases the efforts of rural healthcare providers, state offices of rural health, and other rural stakeholders to address the unique healthcare challenges that rural citizens face today and into the future. It is founded by the National Organization of State Offices of Rural Health in 2011, and it celebrates the power of rural every third Thursday of November. It honors the dedication of rural providers, state offices of rural health, and other stakeholders who tackle the challenges faced by rural communities. I think given the things that we are facing, this is an important day to bring up, that it exists, that it is acknowledged, and it is celebrated on a national scale. So in honor of National Rural Health Day, I brought the Pennsylvania Rural Health Plan that was just passed from 2025 to 2030 with plan here. And what is interesting in this plan is that any of us contacted to help draft it? No, not at all. And Cameron County is mentioned 4 times in here to say that we don't have many dentists, and that's it.
Oh.
So, to celebrate National Rural Health Care Day, I would encourage this whole week and the rest of this month for us to contact our legislators to explain what frustrations you have in accessing health care outside of dentists, mental health, access to maternity care, emergency services, pharmacies. Because in this plan, we are acknowledged as being one of the most rural counties. And the other mention of us is a picture of an elk. And that is absurd and absolutely not okay. So happy National Rural Health Care Day. So frustrating. In other news, I've been working on the budget. So the budget will be available for public review next Wednesday. We have a meeting on Friday to finalize some of the details of it, and then it will be available so that people can come to start the 30-day of review. There is scheduled a special meeting to adopt the budget on December 30th, so that we can get the 30 days in for people to come and look at it. So it'll be here, and then we'll put it online so people can view it online. If they have questions or comments, they can contact us. It's literally been my life for the last month. So we've been doing that. We had a safety committee meeting where we were discussing the a number of safety protocols for the courthouse, and we've been working through the engineering and architecture for the federal recommendation of a new security entrance that is going out for bid. And so we've also had a meeting with the sheriffs. I attended a meeting with the sheriffs and Jack, and Misty was there as our safety coordinator to discuss what preliminary considerations there will be should we have to close our main entrance while a new one is being created. To include handicap accessibility options, so there is a single point of entrance into the courthouse for all people, and what that will look like, so that when we get the bids back and we start having conversations with our vendors, that we can make sure we're all on the same page. So that is going to be coming into next year. I'm sure I've done other things.
I don't know how.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks. Mostly with internal stuff, department meetings, working on projects and helping sure that everybody has what they need to do, the things that they need to do. But yeah, the budget will be up. Behind, but it's okay.
Behind where we wanted to be, but
Yeah, I set a very streamlined deadline for it that we did not hit, but that's okay. Timeout, back up. They passed the budget, so the courthouse in the last week received $400,000 into the general fund that we've been sitting on. We managed to only have to dip into $100,000 of our reserves to cover the shortfall. So we actually weathered the budget impasse in PA relatively well. In no small part thanks to Misty and Tara and Annette, who run the receivables and payables and help us navigate all of those things, and working with our vendors to delay payment of things so we could prioritize wages and utilities and all the things that keep us running day to day. So we are catching up. So when I go over the treasurer's report, it is very low, and that is because we have been working with our vendors to navigate the budget impasse. So the treasurer's report expenses for the month of October totaled $161,188.77. I said it right. I know. Okay. Old business, there is none, so on to new business. I need a motion to approve the service agreement with Train for HVAC services in the amount of $5,250.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need a motion. I need a motion to approve the code of conduct and procurement policy to meet the standards established in 2 CFR Part 200, the Uniform Administrative Requirements, Cost Principles, and Audit Requirement for Federal Awards and State and Local Requirements.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
These were provided to us ahead of time for review. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need a motion to approve the 2026 Commissioner meeting and holiday schedules. These have been submitted to the department heads for review and comment.
Yes, I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need a motion to open bids for the Cameron County Recreation Center improvements. 2 were received.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. The letter over here.
Oh, did it?
Awesome. So first bid, this is Overdorf Snyder Medical or Mechanical Incorporated.
What was the name again?
I'll spell it for you. Overdorf, Overdorf. This is for the plumbing construction bid proposal, $23,500. next is Moyerability. Moyer Building has a $506,000 bid.
That's for the whole entire job though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was bid as a single prime. I don't know why over North Smith went from
Only for just the plumbing?
They had asked me if this was single prime. I guess. I'll take a look at it.
I need a motion to table the bids for the Kern County Distribution Center improvements pending review by our grants administrator.
Yes, I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go to the order. There's an emergency salary board meeting scheduled for Tuesday, December 4th at 9:30 a.m. Thursday, December. I can't get it all. Thursday, December 4th at 9:30 a.m. And there is an emergency retirement board meeting scheduled for Thursday, December 4th at 1. So it'll be salary board before the commissioners meeting, retirement board after the commissioners meeting. And the reason for the first meeting is that we had a request from conservation regarding their employees' wages, and their board meeting didn't coincide with our salary board meeting. And the reason for the retirement board meeting is we received the cost of living review from the actuary, because it has to be performed every 3 years, and they have recommendations that we have to review and take action on. Anything else for the good of the order? Yes.
I just have a couple updates on the housing rehab program.
Okay, thank you.
First of all, the state was going to, or the governor's proposal was to add $50 million to the whole home repair program, or to continue it. It's a different name. That didn't make it to the budget, so the whole home repair program, as we know, is done. Which is unfortunate because with state money, it was easier to administer than home money, and you could do homes that were in the floodplain, which is a lot of homes here. Home you actually can, but it's so restricted, it's not, practically can't. So, it's going to eliminate some people from my list, not that many, ones that are in the floodplain in particular. At the same time, the home program is not, it's in jeopardy also. The president's budget is to completely eliminate the home program. I know the budget, federal budget's passed, but certain items haven't been decided on. The House of Representatives have also are pushing to axe the program, however the Senate is not. So it's still, that home program is still up in the air. We have current funding, of course, to continue the current program, but going forward, whether or not the home program is going to exist is unknown at this time. I have 51 people on my waiting list, which is based on contractor participation that I have and increasing costs of renovations. That's, a 10-year wait, assuming I get money every year, which doesn't really happen every year. It's only a year and a half. So if you're number 50 on my list now, I won't be here when your home may or may not get done. So I'm going to close the program. To put somebody on my waiting list now, I can, but it's almost preposterous. I don't take applications from anybody because I just presume if you call me, you want to be part of the home program, I put you on my list, whether you're eligible or not. Because the income information you provide is only good for 6 months, and you have to own a home, and that even changes over time. So once I know once you're far enough up on the list, I know I can do your home, or at least get it started within 6 months, then I give you the application. So, again, at this point, I'm not going to add anybody else to my list. They call. Sorry, it's done for now. can't keep accumulating people on waiting lists and no idea of whoever can work on their own.
Right.
That's unfortunate, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think giving people false hope on a list that they may never be reached
Yeah.
is unreasonable.
I
So
think you made the right
taking
call. Yeah.
that stance is unfortunate, but it's a reasonable expectation given the current state of things.
Yeah, as long as the home program continues to exist, we have a very good track record. I don't expect there'll be any issue in getting more funding every year and a half, but as if it continues to exist. It
Yeah.
depends how much funding there is available.
And I think creating a cap of 50 to that kind of list that list should probably have a cap and pick a good number to stop at. I mean, especially given the current environment for funding of that nature. Thank you. Anything else for the good? These are not good things for good of the order.
No, I know. Well, let me mention one good thing that I forgot to mention in my report, because I did attend the Cameron County Dark Sky Planning Committee meeting as well. So that's a positive. That has momentum and is continuing to go forward. One of the big discussion was about renaming the current site, because right now we kind of just generically call it the Cameron County Dark Sky Park. But they're looking at giving it a proper name. And the 5 names that rose to the top during that meeting to be voted on by the public were Sylvan Skies, Cameron County Celestial Park, Onyx Meadow, Sterling Star Park, and May Hollow Skyway. So the plan is that they're going to put like the coffee cans out, possibly at the chamber and a few other places within town, and they're going to do it similar to the celebrity goat milking, where you can put in money in each of these cans, and then, you know, whichever name you like the most, you put your money in that can, and then all that money that gets generated will go towards the development of the park. The application fee to the International Dark Sky Association is part of what that money can be spent on. We were also looking at options for expanding it beyond just our community to make anybody that wanted to be able to donate and whatever for these names, but that's in the exploration stages right now. So I don't know whether or not that will come to fruition or not. However, they did also list the tentative dates for dark sky events in 2026, and as of right now, they're looking at June 13th, July 11th, and August 15th. And that August 15th date, if anybody can make just one event, that would be the most important one I would point people towards, because it's very close to the Perseids meteor shower, which is pretty extraordinary. And they're also looking at different ways to fundraise as well for the park. But I thought that was positive, so I wanted to add that.
Yeah.
Somewhat positive.
In more festive news, at the request of the employees, we are bringing back the door decorating at the courthouse for December. We're going to invite the public to come and vote for their favorite doors. We'll put something in the paper more prevalently, but this is an opportunity to bring the public in for things that aren't bad things to the courthouse, and visit your offices that represent you and serve you. So you can come and vote on your favorite door, and we'll be providing a trophy and bragging rights to the office that gets the most votes for that. So come and take a look. Our tree is going up on the 2nd, and yeah.
Do you guys have any comment on the marathon and the town's, I guess, disappointment in it? Like the signs, I don't know if you're aware of like the Facebook of it.
The marketing that they're doing. I'm aware. Are you aware?
I mean, you're talking about the big flags that are up at the
I
marathon?
mean, yes, the state of the building in general, the inside, the scope machines inside. If you have any comment.
I don't think that we can have direct comment to it. I fielded some calls about this already from citizens that are upset about it. it's in the borough, so the borough has the ordinances in place. I don't know if I don't believe they're in a violation of anything right now, but I would say for the downtown feel and of what is being presented, it doesn't have a good vibe. We're trying to build a healthy vibe in our community, but as of now, I don't believe we have any action that we can take on it, other than fielding complaints and whatnot. I would encourage, possibly those who feel the same about being upset about it or whatnot, possibly a town hall meeting or something with the borough council meetings in some sort of way to approach it appropriately. I don't believe that Facebook is the best way to make an impact. I think face-to-face and having those conversations are probably the best way to do it.
And I will second that. Well, I won't say what the borough should or should not do or how to handle this in any regard. I would encourage people to contact Stretch and send emails or make phone calls if it is something that concerns you, because as Josh said, they control the ordinances for the borough and they're in the process of recodifying their ordinances. So if this is a concern and it is outside their ordinance scope, hearing from the public will help the borough council draft ordinances that may mitigate these kind of things in the future.
And I'm just going to add that, again, we don't have the authority to tell the borough what to do or anything, and not that I would, but is it maybe slightly unfortunate the way they are marketing what they are selling? Sure, but look at the economic side of things too. It's no longer a vacant building that is now being used for commerce. So I mean, even though it might not be the epitome of what we want to see in our community, at least the building is no longer sitting vacant. So I guess I would say that that's somewhat of a positive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I would say that topic's not very.
it is a very controversial topic. I've seen some of the Facebook posts. I know a lot of people are
There's not
unhappy
even
with the way
any
they're marketing.
important natives employed in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't have to elaborate. I was just sharing my thoughts.
It's not our job or our, within our scope of being able to tell local businesses how to conduct their business.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, you get to choose where you shop and how you spend your money.
It's true.
And sometimes if contacting the borough isn't going to get you where you want to, residents can control how and where they choose to spend their money, just like a business has to choose how and what best brings people in their door. If this is not something the community is interested in seeing, vote with your cash. I mean, unfortunately, we can't do anything as the commissioners, but we're not blind to people's frustrations, and like Josh says, they're contacting us.
Well said. I like it.
I don't care how cheap your gas is, I'm not going there.
That's
I
the
have a
product.
question.
Of course.
Your schedule's out for 2026. Do you have included in there the evening meeting that you're required to have to set row officer salaries?
Does that fall in 2026?
Yes, it does, because you guys will run in 2027, so you have to set the salary raise or deduction the year before you run. You can't do it the year that you run.
We weren't aware of that, but we will
Well,
follow up with our
and-
solicitor and ensure that if it isn't, it is added
I
as a special
can
meeting.
give you the app, but it's an interesting read because it says that you have to hold the meeting. It doesn't say sometime between 6 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock at night. It says you must conduct the meeting from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So bring a deck of cards with you because no one ever shows up. I've been through it a couple times.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, it does not include that, but we can obviously add that to
Okay.
action. if it- yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it to our attention. It does include the continuation of every other month meetings in the southern tier, though,
Mhm.
and we are holding the line with first and third Thursdays at 11 o'clock. And we overhauled our holiday scheduling. It does not include Diwali because it falls on a weird day. So next year, we are going to close the courthouse for election days, but the election office will be open. It just makes large elections run smoother when the courthouse is closed for the other departments, and our election staff, because they wear so many hats, can focus on the needs across the county. So.
And we did take a better look at the election calendar for 2026 and planning our meetings.
Yeah, so, and that's all going to be put up on the website probably today after the meeting, so people can see it. Any other questions? Okay. Seeing as there are none, our next meeting will be Thursday, December the 4th at 11 a.m. here, same place, same time, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
One second.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 11:35.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Yeah.